right. Well, we are heading in for a pretty extended bear trip, heading into the backcountry. Day one, we're riding in as far as we can on these Batku bikes. So we got a pretty long stretch here, got a few miles, half a dozen miles, where we can take this bike in to a certain point, and then we're going to hike the rest. But this is just big country, hoping to find a couple of big bears. And we've also got a couple of archery deer tags. The plan is we've got 5-6 days to scout for deer, and hopefully we fill a couple of bear tags in the meanwhile, but try to pin down a couple of big bucks. There's going to be some big bears in here. I mean, this country's huge. There's just rock faces, a lot of berries. I think the berries are going to be perfect. So the plan is spend today getting in there, just kind of glassing along the way, hoping to find some color phase. There's blonde in here, there's cinnamon, there's jet black. So we got 10 days to see what we find. We're gonna ditch the trailers. We hit some skinny trail, so we're gonna get a lot of our gear. We got some extra gear. It's a long trip. We're gonna get it on the back of this bike. There's a little rack behind the seat here. Strap it down and then hit some skinny trail. It's just a single track. Start grinding up this mountain and see how it does.
Got the trailer off this bike, and then got the Panga strapped down. Gave her a little spin, cruise down the trail, cruise back up again. It's pretty nice without the trailer. Definitely needed more power to haul than it does to carry the same load, but on the bike. But once we get meat, we're gonna need the cargo space that the trailer provides, but I think we're gonna be fine. It rode real nice as I rode down the trail. It was like a lot smoother than with the trailer attached.
Solar panels laid out. We're charging up one of the batteries. We don't have that much farther to go, but we're both teetering at about 10% on the batteries that we've got. So we're using a little bit of this sunlight to get a little recharge going. But I think about another mile or so, and we're gonna start glassing. Hopefully pick up a bear tonight. These bikes are cool, but this is a grind of a hill, and we got heavy packs on, so it's really taking a lot of the juice out of them.
Well, we got our bikes up this mountain. Now we had to come back down and grab some packs. They didn't have the juice.
Not quite. These hills really take it out of them, but
quite a few rocks.
All
right. It's getting dark, but we'll probably get to camp before it gets dark. Close to it. And then we'll probably kill a bear tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. Well,
I'm freaking tired. It's been a long day. I'm ready for bed.
It's been a long day. I'm ready for a meal.
I got lots of fat to burn. I need to lose like 10 pounds. I was gaining like so much muscle. That little bit of fat comes with it around the belly. It's part of my process. Last year, dude, I lost 25 pounds between now and December.
That's a lot.
So into a soul back here. It's ours alone. Well, found our camp spot for the night right up here. Got water right here. Just filling up the bladder. Have some dinner, go to bed, because it's been a long day. Big old grind. Got our little castle here. Ryan's trying to kill us though. There's like blowdowns. Dead trees surrounding us. Dead tree, 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 dead tree.
Did you say that one was dead? Because there's one fully alive, intact.
True, that one is fully alive.
We got one.
There's a couple, mostly all dead. What'd you say to me earlier?
Everything we do has a little bit of risk. So putting our tent amongst a bunch of dead timbers is nothing out of the ordinary, really.
We're probably breaking some rule. There's probably some law that if you sleep inside a burn, that you have to have a permit or something. Or it might be against the law just because, everybody's trying to legislate your safety.
It's probably a $25 pass. There's a permit for everything. But, you know what? I just pulled out the world's greatest pad here. Still going, Brian. Still going. It's another year.
Not really a pad I hate more than that pad.
I can guarantee you this is going to be another full season for this.
We'll see. I tried buying one, and it was too skinny, so I took it back and bought the large, because I'm a broad-shouldered man, and it came with no valve. Plus,
so you didn't check
plus
for
it
the
was,
valve prior to your trip, is what you're
folks,
saying.
Gear tip: always blow up your air pad before you go to the mountain. Always. Only a idiot, rookie, moron would go up to the mountain with a brand new pad without checking it first. People like that drive me crazy.
I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to disagree with you on that one. But this mattress with a valve, it's about as good as it gets. This morning we climbed up to the top here on this perch, scouting out some muleys for the opener. There's really no berries up here, but there's some pretty good bucks. We've got 4 bucks right below us. Pretty nice 3-point. The other one's a nice old 3x4. He's kind of got a wanky left side to him, but he's gonna eat some breakfast and watch this spot and try to get some video. And he's a nice heavy buck. He looks like a pretty old age class buck up here, so we'll watch him and see if there's any other bucks rolling around before we move on and hit another big glass and knob, and eventually we'll get to where the bears are. But until then, we're going to keep our eyes out for mule deer we can come back to for the opener. Some of these bucks back here, you'll look at them the first time and you'll think they're just not that old, not that big. But when you see their body size of an older age to a younger age buck, they're just huge. Some of these bucks, they migrate, 40, 50 miles, and they're just giant. Big tracks on them, like 275-pound mule deer. And so it makes the racks look pretty small sometimes. It'll fool you. But like this buck down here, he's not huge, but he's a good mature buck. He's got a big body compared to that 3-point that's down below him. He's significantly bigger than him. So this rack's probably quite a bit bigger than we think.
Bedded. Yeah, right there.
That's a shot right there.
How far do you think that is?
I'm gonna say 60, 55. Okay. Check it.
51.
Really?
Yeah. How can you tell? You know what I mean?
It's tough. It's a tough judge.
Just need that to be a big buck.
I know.
With a tag in hand.
She's not that spooked. She's not like that buck on the other side that's so wary.
Oh, I wonder if I can film her with this small camera.
See how tough it is, though. Like stalking and this stuff.
I'd really like a nice big buck to do that. You know, stand up, stare at me, let me range it 35 yards, come to full draw, send it. It's my idea. I mean, that'd be cool. It's steep, man. Yeah.
We are full up. 4 bars.
Nice. It works.
It works. Sweet. Okay, we'll swap out batteries.
Well, we've been letting these bikes charge for 3.5 hours. We've got one battery fully charged, like 100%. This other one's been taking longer to charge. All I care about is that I got a good, 30, 40 minute nap. And then just, an hour to relax. But the bikes have been cool, but it took a lot of power to get them up on top of this mountain. So we're kind of dead in the water if we want to keep using them without getting them charged up. But that one worked like a charm. So we'll see how that one goes. Keep experimenting with them. But we're asking a lot out of them because they're not motorcycles, They're e-bikes, but still really impressed with what they've been able to do. We've glassed a bit. Nothing's out moving, really.
It's just the sun is in the wrong spot right now. But we're going to get a good vantage tonight, and I'm guessing we're going to see some mule deer. Hopefully a bear, too. We got one side of the ridge. It's got some nice bulls. Might be some berries in there, some rocks. The other side is all mule deer. So we'll know a lot more tonight. But guessing we're going to see some pretty good bucks.
Made our way to the backside of this mountain. We're glassing this little area behind us. Looking for deer, looking for bears. So far it's been a slow morning. No critters yet.
Looking into these bulls. And no bears yet, but we just got in here, so we just gotta probably keep our eyes on these bottoms. They're nice and lush down in the bottom, but it's all burnt off up top here, so kind of expect to see them down in these basins where it's still kind of wet. The berries are gonna be a lot bigger. We're gonna get set up, do a little calling, see if we can't call one out of this. It's kind of just a dark little damp hole here, so we can hopefully pull one out of it. The odds of just seeing one are pretty slim.
Well, we sat up there and we called for about a half hour. We heard some critters up in the rocks, but never put eyes on anything. No bear came in, so we're moving on to another spot. Probably hike another, 5 miles today to another area where we think there's going to be some bears, pretty sure. But we thought we'd spend some time in a couple of these canyons right here before we made that move, just because it's such good country. But it's time to move on, hit this next area, and hopefully put some bears on film and get some stocks. We're like 15, 16 miles from the truck. Probably go another 10 miles to where the bear might be, 20, 25 miles, somewhere in that range. Nobody's back here. It's pretty cool. It's just ours for the taking. Ryan expected to see a lot more deer over here than we have, but that's hunting.
This might get a little steep. A little bit steep. Oh. He's pretty good size, Brian. this, where the creek is. It's really lush down there. Some nice green salad, but it's fresh. Yeah, it's really fresh. He's close.
So many tracks all over through here. You can see them. They're fresh. Big bear pads.
Alright, well, we finally got to our number one basin here. Took a while, but I hope there's a bunch of berries in it. It's just a nice rocky, it's upper end of the basin. It's got a puddle in the bottom, and it's got a creek running right through the middle of it, so there's plenty of moisture. I'm just hoping it's filled with berries, but there's a lot of bear sign in here, so if there's berries in here, we're going to see multiple bears. Because there's just not that many places around that have them. Okay, so we're sitting up on this perch. It's about as perfect as you could have. We got 200 yards to the middle of this kind of a meadow. We're about 300 as far over as possible, so we should have a bear come through here any minute. Definitely by the time the sun goes down. But we're probably going to park it on this basin for a day or two. There's bears around. There's going to be a bear in here. We're going to camp just a couple hundred yards up on the hill here, kind of away from this basin a little bit, so we keep our scent out of it. But right now it's just a waiting game. It looks great, so we're just parked up here, drinking some bone broth, kind of waiting for the show to happen. It's gonna be good. Got some bone broth going on. Good stuff. So we got our first bear just come out. It's funny, right where we're watching, right in this little cut up the creek bed, right where we thought one would come out. He's not the biggest bear, he's like a solid medium.
He's got like a blonde stripe.
Jet black. Just right down here rubbing on a tree. And then we have a deer over here blowing at him. That made him nervous. That bear just kind of heard that deer blowing and just shuffled up into the timber here. So he's not in our sight right now, but we'll see him again here, I'm sure.
Well, that was really close. That bear popped out into this meadow, rubbed on that tree, gave us a little show, but he was only out in the open for a minute or so, and then a deer started blowing at him, made him nervous, and he went up into the trees. He's a shooter. So maybe he'll come back out before the sun goes down.
Well, he's over there somewhere. We just haven't picked him back up, but he's got to be in that timber. We would have seen him if he would have cut across and went out of here. I think he's just holed up. Not very tough if he ran away from a deer blowing. But I'll bet he'd eat good. He's probably good size. At least a medium, we figured. So we'll take him if he comes back out.
He disappeared into those trees about an hour ago. And hour and a half maybe. Hasn't come back out. We probably have another 30 or 40 minutes of daylight, so we still got time. We got the camera ready. Ryan's got the gun ready. Last we saw him, he was right in that tree line there. It's just a waiting game. Hopefully he comes out before the sun sets. We'll see.
Well, that's it for today, but we saw a bear. Probably a middle-aged bear. A sissy bear, because he heard a deer snort and he took off. Never gave us another look, so that's unfortunate, but we're gonna park it on this basin all day tomorrow. Hopefully pick him back up, or another one. He might have been a little bit sketched out because there's hopefully a bigger bear in there, because he hot-footed it out of there pretty fast with that deer. But we got some really good, like, not just this basin, we got a couple other basins right next to it that we'll end up looking at eventually, but tomorrow it's gonna happen.
Well, we got up this morning a little late, and but we're moving in. We saw this bear yesterday into this meadow. Hopefully we see some action this morning.
No bear in here first thing in the morning, but he's in here. So we're gonna perch up for the day and watch this basin, and hopefully he comes out. I've noticed one thing: when the berries aren't really hot and heavy, sometimes it's noon before I see them, and that second half of the day is a lot better. But if the berries were really heavy, they'd probably be in them right now.
Well, we're sitting here waiting for that bear to come back out from yesterday. And yesterday when the bear came into the meadow, a deer was blowing right below us somewhere in these rocks. Spooked him and made him run into the trees. This morning we get here and we're sitting here looking over the edge, and our deer is back and he's blowing his nose again. We haven't put eyes on it yet, but it's like right there. Kind of annoying.
Alright, well, we're just sitting here making some coffee, or at least I am, and got our water boiling here. Looked across right where the berries are. There's a bear. We're thinking it's the same one from last night. Not positive, but it looks like it has kind of this stripe down its back, kind of a lighter color. Last night we thought it was pine needles, so I'm gonna get the spotter out and take a better look at him. So we watched that bear. It's definitely the same bear from last night. He was just grabbing mouthfuls of berries, huckleberries, and he moved into the timber patch that he went into last night. So we're hoping he keeps coming our way. If he comes into this little box up here, we got a nice close shot. And hopefully he doesn't stay in that timber all day. But my guess is he'll keep moving across this front where the huckleberries are. Until then, we're just drinking coffee and waiting.
There's bushes in my way. No. Yes, I'm on him. I'm on him.
Alright, well, that bear did come out. He came right in tight to us. About 200 to 250 yards, and we got a lot better look of him. And he's just a little bit small for us, and we've got some days to burn here, so we're gonna let him kind of rule this base, and we're gonna hop up over this mountain and check out another one. See if we can't find another bear that's a little bit older, a little bit bigger.
Sun's coming out. We're off to find another bear. We heard some bear growling down here. So far creepy. There's gotta be bears in here. Gotta be. All right, folks. I hope you enjoyed this week's film. Brad, what'd you think?
You guys worked your butts off, that's for sure.
So far, what you've seen is a lot of hiking, a lot of climbing.
Yep.
The e-bikes were handy when we had the terrain to run them on, but it was a tough hunt. It was a fall hunt, and the trick was finding the berries, and it was a bad berry year.
Yeah.
And so the elevation, there were berries at various elevations, but not good patches of them. And it was really hard to turn up a bear. This is probably one of the hardest bear hunts I've been on. Ryan had been to this area before and seen lots of bears.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just tough this particular season.
When it's really dry, too, so any berries that normally would be up on your slope faces are all shriveled up and dry.
I mean, we ate a lot of berries, and we did find, that bear with the stripe down his back, that bear was jowling berries,
right.
but it just didn't seem to be enough to hold them in a single basin for more than a few hours, and then they were gone.
Right.
And we started, as the days went on, maybe regret our decision not to take the bear right at the get-go. But you never know. You have one tag each, and we had totally different expectations for this
It's
area.
hard, too, because you don't want to use your tag.
Right off the bat,
right.
too. I don't want to use it just yet.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's how hunting goes. Sometimes you have 3 bears in 30 minutes.
Yeah, right.
And then sometimes you got 3 bears in 10 days. And this was one of those hunts. But tune in next week to see the conclusion of this. I think you'll find it pretty cool. We do have some success, and it's hard won.
Yep.
All right, let's get to these giveaways. Last week we said we were going to give away a Dark Energy Charger, a couple pairs of sheep feet, and some gaiters. For those who left a comment on YouTube, you were entered to win a Poseidon Dark Energy Charger. So we're gonna announce that winner in just a minute. And then if you shared our film on Instagram, we have 2 pairs of sheep feet we're giving away. Yep. So we picked some lucky winners for that as well. And we have some new giveaways to announce in just a minute for next week. And first of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone who takes the time to share our film. It really does help us spread our message and get our show out there. Yep. YouTube really pushes our show through that YouTube algorithm, and we do a lot better when people leave a lot of comments. So that's very helpful. So we thank you for that. Okay, who do you got?
So for our first Instagram winner, we got Traveling Timbers. He says, true wilderness out there. Inspiring films made by these guys have changed my life. Hope they do the same to y'all. Our second winner is B-Baz Outdoors. I love how things can change so fast when you are hunting. Another epic adventure by the Gritty crew.
All right, guys. So there's our 2 winners for sharing on Instagram. You each won a pair of sheep feet.
Yep. This week we are giving away on Instagram a pair of trekking poles, the Elite Peaks trekking poles.
Okay, so share this video on Instagram, and you'll be entered to win a pair of trekking poles next Sunday. All right, let's get on to giving away the Dark Energy Charger, the Poseidon Dark Energy Charger. Someone who left a comment on YouTube last week. Who do we got, Brad?
Says, Dylan Meek. This is awesome. Thank you for sharing your adventure.
All right. Dylan, you just won a Dark Energy Charger. If you want to win a Stealthy Hunter rifle cover, just leave a comment on this video and like and subscribe to this channel. And next week, we're going to pick one lucky commenter. And if you want to win a pair of Peaks gaiters, go become a supporter of the Gritty Stealthy community. Go to gritty.locals.com. Become a supporter over there. Join us tomorrow night on our live stream. And we're going to pick some lucky person to win a pair of Peaks gaiters. And next Monday, you'll be entered to win a phone scope setup. So you can go become a supporter by tomorrow evening, and you can be entered to win both. Just go to gritty.locals.com. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate all the support. Stay gritty.